I'm Harold Sellers for the Silver Tongue here in Atlanta at the Kirkwood Public House with the Villains. How you guys doing?
How are you doing?
I'm great. I want to thank you guys for coming out and talking with us today.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about you guys. Tell me a little bit about the band and how you guys got together and became the Villains.
Oh boy, we've been playing together, for quite a while. We've known each other for years. Played a lot of different projects, and then we backed up a country artist for a few years and went out on the road, opened for all the country acts: Dwight Yoakam, Montgomery Gentry, Keith Urban, all of them. And the band got real tight, and when we came back, we started recording some tunes, and it just kind of grew into this. And I was just wanting to get these guys on tape, just to have some songs for content, and then it really started to sound like a record, and we just went from there.
Where did the name? Where'd you get the name Villains? Where'd that come from?
Oh, Magna.
We started fishing for names for the project, and I had stumbled upon the Villains from a friend who never used the name, and I was like, well, this sounds fitting since we're kind of a band of no good doers. Well, anyway, the name stuck, and it's kind of an antithesis of a name since all our reviews are saying, there's not a bad one in the bunch. So
That's and our drummer Sean, he couldn't be here today, or Mike, but the Villains and all the reviews, they all say the same thing. It's a menacing name, but once you hear the record, it's this sort of Americana pop rock and all this. The Villains is not us, we're not the villains. We're the villains to ourselves as we get older. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's what this really is.
The more we drink, really.
Yeah, we're not against the world. It's like, we're trying to overcome things, and you hear that with the songs. And so the name fits in that capacity, but I can see where some.
Well, the Heartbreakers was already taken.
Yeah, so we couldn't go that way.
We had to stick with
And being a young bunch in your mid-20s, you guys got a long ways to go. Tear that name up.
God bless you, Harold.
About the members, talking about Sean and Mike that couldn't be here. Tell us a little bit about who you guys got behind you. What's up?
Well, I'm
Who's doing
Dan.
what?
I play bass and sing. You got Mr. Magno here.
Magno. I sing and play keyboards and a little guitar.
Yeah.
I'm Jimmy James Schmidt, sing, play with myself and my guitar at the same time.
That's his best feature.
Mike Wilkes does all the guitars, and Sean McNally's our drummer, beats extraordinaire.
He's Irish.
Alan Schaefer is not a member of the live band at this point, but he was a big part of the record itself, and down the line he would probably join us in the live shows.
What kind of influences do the different members have, and how does that affect the sound you guys have?
Oh boy, big question. Well, Jimmy James Schmidt is a big country guy, old school country. Mr. Magno here is a definite child of the 80s, and we mean all 80s, not just the hair
Any
metal part.
80s, any 80s
If
will
it's
do.
breakdancing, if it's any of that stuff.
Busted Robot for him.
Yeah. Mike Wilkes is a real hard rock guy, and then you've got Sean, who's really into beats and just a total
He's into
groovy drummer
records.
and records. Just a good music guy.
So-
But we all like what each of us like as well.
yeah, so it works.
it's when you put it together, that's what that record sounds like. And there's no, it wasn't thought out. It was just, let's go in and do this. I want the best of what each person does, what they bring to the table, and that's what it is.
You guys have been out touring a little bit now, doing a lot of morning news shows, television, radio. Tell us a little bit, what would we expect to come out and see a Villain show? What's your life?
James?
Hanging out with a bunch of your friends, having a good time listening to music. We're trying to keep it simple and not be, we don't want a gimmick. We don't have a gimmick. Our gimmick is our friendships. That's really all we got going. And we want them to be our friends as well, so,
And we want it to be a personal experience. I mean, it's almost like the audience is witnessing a rehearsal, and you see when everything works, and you see the smiles, and you also hear the bad notes. And they're looking over our shoulder, but they're very involved, and I think that really appeals to a lot of people of all ages.
Now, you guys got a single out. Let's Forget About It Tonight.
Yes.
It's climbing up some charts.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the single. Who wrote the single?
Me and a fellow that a lot of people know named Peter Stroud. He plays, he's a guitar player with Sheryl Crow, does a lot of work with Don Henley, and has been a friend for a long time. And we got together and beat around some tunes and came up with this one. And he was like, "Look, let's record this live," And so we went over to Griffin Mastering Studios on a very rare day off for Peter, and banged this out. And it was fun. We had a great time, and it was like there was no preconception with the writing of the tune. It is what it's about, and that's letting go of the day and just enjoying life. And getting out there and just living for the moment. So he contributed a lot to this record as well.
Now I notice in Billboard you guys are climbing up the charts. How many stations you've been added to? Where can we hear the single at right now?
Well, right now,
From Connecticut to Hawaii.
yeah, it's a myriad of radio stations. There's about 60 playing it nationwide. I would check with thevillansband.com.
Big plug.
Yeah, big plug.
No.
And you can see where the single's being played at, and we're getting ads every week. And we just appreciate all the support everybody's given us.
Now you talked about the single being recorded live over at Griffin Studio. Did you do the whole record there? Tell me a little bit about the recording process. Who produced, where you recorded at.
Okay. Well, we did. We tracked the whole record at Griffin Mastering Studios, and a great place. Chris Griffin is a quality engineer and did a fantastic job. When we got to the point to mix, we brought in Russ Fowler, who has worked with Brendan O'Brien. He just finished the new Stone Temple Pilots record, Offspring, a lot of different acts. And he came in from LA, by the way, in a break from the new STP record, and mixed it. And then we had Chris Griffin master it, obviously, and that was it, man. And it was fun. There was no tension. It was just a relaxed, let's get in there and play the best we can, man. And it was a great environment, and all these guys, from Russ and Chris to the band, did just a phenomenal job.
All the way around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where can we see you guys? What's coming up next? Any shows? You guys going on tour?
Well, we are looking at a couple of different scenarios for touring in the spring and the summer. I don't know when this is going to air, but if it's the spring, we're already out. We're doing some shows, one-offs here and there for radio. But we are looking for a nice touring package to get on here in the spring.
Last question, where can people find information about you guys? What's your website? You have MySpace? How are you guys socially networking yourselves? Twitter? Where can we find
twit.
you guys?
We're not that good at it, but we twit.
It's tweet.
Yeah, tweet.
Well, that depends on what you're doing.
Yeah. They can go to thevillansband.com. Please, we welcome you. There's links to the Facebook. There's links to MySpace, Twitter. Best Buy is carrying the record online, and it's also at all Metro Atlanta
iTunes.
stores, Nashville stores, iTunes, any online distribution you can find the record at, CD Baby, and all the news items are up. You can look at where the song's being played. Please call the radio station in the town you're in. And
We all have copies with us, so you can actually buy a copy.
yeah,
off of
yeah,
us.
yeah. And if that doesn't work, James's number, Jimmy James Schmidt's phone number is, yeah.
Dirty.
Dirty,
yeah. Well, hey, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out to the Kirkwood Public House in Atlanta. Join us
Absolutely.
today, and look these guys up on the web and catch them out on the road soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Harold.
Hold on now, everything'll be alright. Come on, baby, let's forget about it tonight. Walking through the city, so alive it gets you high, so high.